Hey everyone, we're Kev and Dave, co-founders of Butternut.
Anthony, over here.
I'm Kev.
I'm Dave. Just warning you now, we're a bit awkward in front of camera, particularly with our hands. Never really know quite what to do with them.
I'm usually given something to chop, actually.
Yeah, you're getting pretty good at that.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Oh, that's a good question.
First impression of Dave when I first met him.
Kev was wearing a shirt with two collars. I couldn't believe it. Honestly, it blew my mind. I was like, wow, this kid's flair.
Hold on. You had a haircut like David Beckham. You had a step haircut.
It's all getting very personal now, isn't it? We are friends. I promise you we are friends. My family brought home a dog from Battersea Dogs Home. We'd seen her on the website. She was a little white staffy with a patch over her eye and a little smile on her face. We fell in love with her immediately. We brought her home, but very quickly we realised she wasn't a particularly well dog. She had incredibly irritated skin, dark weepy circles around her eyes, irritated ears, separation anxiety. But the thing that she's famous for in our company story is that she wouldn't stop farting. So very quickly, Snowy was renamed Rudy. And we spent the next month or so back and forth from the vets, antibiotics, anti-inflammatories, steroids, none of it was working. And the last thing that the vet came to, he said, well, this could be food related, maybe her diet's to blame. And we thought, well, okay, if food is to blame, why don't we start cooking for Rudy ourselves, see if we can eliminate anything that's irritating her system and build up a diet that works for her. Almost immediately after moving her to home cooked food, her condition just dramatically improved.
So this is the story that David told me, the remarkable turnaround that Rudy had on fresh food. Pretty much immediately, we were into the supermarket aisle, walking down, picking up dog food, not understanding anything on the label. The one that always stood out to us was, in order for a dog food to be labelled with chicken, it only needs to contain 4% of chicken. And that never really sat right with us. So we left the supermarket. We were convinced that more dogs around the UK could benefit from fresh food, and that is the genesis of how Butternut was born. So we essentially wanted to put the food back into dog food. We wanted to save people walking down the supermarket aisle looking for dog food between bin liners and bleach.
Yeah, we really didn't think that represented the relationship that dogs have with their humans. In the early days, we were cooking every meal, packing every box, delivering every single one ourselves, and we'd be delivering all around London between 2 a.m. and 7 a.m. One fateful Tuesday morning, I was sitting in the van and Kev was running up the road, dropping a box off, and then I sat there as Kev ran fast asleep, past the van, back the other way, completely asleep. I had no idea where I was, and I ended up having to chase him up the road. It was, it was ridiculous. But those are the early days.
Very tiring, very, very tiring. I have a delivery story. Dan, who is one of Dave's very good friends, was fortunate enough to adopt a beautiful rescue called Sasha. But unfortunately, she was not able to eat at that point in time where she was refusing food. So Dan had called Dave for some advice, and Dave jumped in the car and had a box of butternut outside Dan's front door at 6 a.m. the next day. And I think within the same day, Dan called back, was very, very emotional. It was the first time that Sasha had eaten food in I think pretty much weeks. I think that's like the epitome of all the customer stories that we have, and probably makes us feel like we're doing a decent job for the dogs out there.
So one of the things that really drives Butternut is reading the things that our customers say about us through reviews or incoming communication to the customer love team. And generally customers talk about two things. They talk about the outcomes of feeding our food to their dogs, and they talk about how well looked after they feel by our customer love team. You know, as you become bigger and you're feeding more and more dogs, it's really important to celebrate the personal stories and the individuality of every dog that we feed. And that's something that our customer love team live and breathe every single day. They always go out their way to do the little thing that shows that we're caring and that we're thinking about our customers. I think that's something that all of us in the business are incredibly proud to be associated with.
Yeah, I think like what's important for us is our customers, and we're lucky enough to have two. We have humans and dogs, so we're always trying to go above and beyond for everything there. Our purpose as a business is to deliver health and happiness to dogs and their humans all over the world.
And in case there's a medical emergency, we've got a 24/7 vet nurse helpline that if there's something wrong, a customer can pick up the phone. They're going to be talking to a qualified vet nurse on the other end of a phone that will give them the advice they need at that point in time.
Had we not started Butternut, we would have missed out on all those individual stories where we've made such a big difference. And to be honest, that has been the absolute highlight of our lives.
Yay, guys!
Nice, Kev.
Yes.
Yeah, you brought that.